I have invited here today Neda Taha, just to talk briefly about their experiences of growing up Western Sydney, being a Pacific Islander a background.
My name is Neda Taha. I'm of Tongan and Iraqi descent. I was born and raised in Western Sydney. I'm a performing artist, primarily a dancer. I was in the Helpman nominated Playlist, which is a dance theatre show here produced by PYT. I'm a drama teacher here at PYT as well for the after school program Pilots.
What do you love about being Tongan? What do you love about your culture?
Oh, there's so much to be proud about. We're part of the greatest maritime navigators in the world. We've, never lost Indigenous sovereignty. I think the thing that I love talking about the most is our fahu system. Fahu is a title that you give to your father's eldest sister because she's the highest ranking member of the family. She's honoured at every significant event in your life. She's always there at the front getting honoured and being given the highest respect. And I think having such a matriarchal system in place is really telling of our people. And I just love sharing that with non-Tongan people because they just really love the idea of this matriarchal system in place in such a patriarchal world.
It's crazy. Actually, the first time I ever heard about this was when you told me. So it's such an interesting role, just knowing that your culture's admiring women in their places at home and in their family, which I think is so important. I just want to also hear a little bit about what it was like for you growing up in Western Sydney and being Pacific Islander and what that meant for you in terms of your connection to your culture.
Growing up in Australia, in Western Sydney, I didn't have a lot of connection to my culture, especially because it's very interwoven with religion. And my family hasn't gone to church since I was 11 years old. So straight off the bat, I've kind of been ostracized from the Tongan community. And because of that, I grew up with such a lack of cultural identity, and my identity was kind of askew growing up. And it became more prevalent the older I grew because I just realized I could not really hold conversations with my family, specifically my grandma, because she doesn't really speak English. And it dawned on me one day that God forbid she could pass away and I would have never been able to have a conversation with her in her native tongue without having someone there to translate for me. I think that really pushed me to embark on this journey of connecting to my culture. And so I set out and I signed up for the Tongan language classes, and I did Tongan dance classes, and I actually did a short film with Maya Newell about it. I remember sharing a short clip about it on my Instagram, and the response I got from Pacific Islander friends and family was really overwhelmingly positive. One response that really stuck with me was a response from this Samoan guy that I used to go to high school with, and he mentioned how he really admired what I was doing and he wanted to kind of do the same thing, but he wasn't sure why he hadn't done it yet. And it sparked this huge conversation about the shame that's associated with not knowing about your culture, especially with terms like plastic being thrown around, which is used to describe someone who's fake or who doesn't know much about their culture or their language. And it was just a really eye-opening conversation about how deeply a lot of the diaspora from Pacific Islands feel when they don't know about their culture. So yeah, it was just cool to talk about how we can destigmatize that, and how just having that conversation already strips a layer of that shame. And you're never too old to start the journey. I only started last year, but it's been very fulfilling for me.
I definitely love that message about, making sure that there's a sense of self-love for yourself and just seeing the value of yourself regardless of where you are in your cultural journey.
Work, rest, play, I say make it sound nice, say work, rest, play.